Wayne Mardle is possibly the most beloved darts pundit and knows the game inside and out. 5 years ago, ahead of the start of the 2019 season, Mardle wrote an article for Sky Sports where he tipped 5 low-ranked players who he believed could make an impact that year. Today, with the benefit of hindsight, we're going to take a look at if the predictions were good or bad, so make sure to stay tuned as there's a variety of hits and misses. Wayne's first pick was Dutchman Ron Meulenkamp, who he said had played much better in 2018, leading his level to be very competitive in any tournament. He praised Ron's performance at the recent World Championship in a loss against Michael Smith and said that he was gaining experience and confidence. At the time, Ron was ranked just outside the world's top 50 and looking to improve to get closer to the top 32. He'd also recently lost around 40 kilograms as he was paying a lot more attention to his fitness in an attempt to improve. As well as reaching 2 Eurotour quarterfinals in 2018, he also caused a big upset in his World Grand Prix debut where he managed to beat 15th seed Joe Cullen. His floor average for 2018 was 92.44 and for 2019 this did increase but only by very little to 92.82. He impressively made it to the semi-final of Players' Championship events 4 times but failed to reach the final once. This was an improvement on the year before where he only made the last 4 once. Those results saw him qualify for the Players' Championship finals ranked 23rd on the order of merit. Many people were expecting him to perform well in the event, but he averaged below 90 in a disappointing first round 6-2 loss to Rob Cross. He improved to average 90 at the World Championship in a 3-0 win against Ben Robb, but he was then beaten in a deciding set tiebreak by Chris Dobey. He also qualified for the World Championship in the following 2 years, again winning his first round game comfortably before falling to high-ranked opponents in round 2. During this time, his form declined and his average for 2022 was 91.01, causing him to slip down the rankings and lose his tour card at the end of the year, despite having the same amount of prize money as Jeff Smith, who retained it in 64th position. He surprisingly failed to win his tour card back at 2023 Q School, meaning he spent the year playing on the Challenge Tour, where he picked up a title in the 8th event, wrapping it up with a 5-0 whitewash win over Alexander Merckx. He was unsuccessful at Q School again this year, but has continued to play on the Challenge Tour and in the Modus Super Series, where he reached a weekly final before being whitewashed by Cam Crabtree. So, for me, Wayne's prediction here gets a thumbs down. Ron did have a decent few years, but a player of his talent should surely be on the tour. Mardle's second tip was Germany's Gabriel Clemens, who he said had the game to trouble the big boys in the PDC. At this point, Clemens had been on the PDC Tour for a year and was ranked 59th in the world. The highlight of his debut year came at Players' Championship 11, where he reached his first PDC final, missing 2 match darts in a sudden death decider against Gary Anderson. He reached 2 more Players' Championship finals in 2019, but lost 8-4 on both occasions, first to Gavin Price and then to Johnny Clayton. That year, he also reached the televised final at the German Darts Masters, where he was beaten 8-6 by Peter Wright. In 2020, Clemens caused a big upset at the World Match Play, knocking out defending champion Rob Cross in round 1, and at the 2021 World Championship, he managed to beat defending champion Peter Wright in the 3rd round. By this point, Gabriel had already climbed up into the world's top 32, proving Mardle's prediction to be a success. In the rest of 2021, Clemens managed to hit his first PDC 9 darter in a game against Jelle Klaasen and reach another Players' Championship final in which he was beaten 8-6 by Callum Ridds. He also reached another final in 2022 but was whitewashed, losing 8-0 to Dirk van Dijvenbode. The biggest moment of Clemens' career so far came at the 2023 World Championship, where he beat Gavin Price 5-1 in the quarterfinals in the famous headphones game. He went on to lose 6-2 to eventual champion Michael Smith in the semis, but it had been a great run. He reached another Players' Championship final in 2023, but was beaten yet again, this time 8-1 by Kim Huybrechts. Clemens currently sits 25th in the world and has certainly made Mardle's prediction come good, but he now seems to have stagnated, and it's a surprise he's not picked up a title. His 2023 final loss saw him tie level with Wayne Jones as the player with the most Pro Tour final defeats without winning a title, with 6. Martin Schindler managed to pick up a title before him, becoming the second German player to win a PDC title, and he now comfortably sits above Clemens in the rankings as the German number 1, something Gabriel will want to claim back. Wayne also tipped Northern Ireland's Gavin Carlin to kick on. He said that Carlin had won his tour card at Q School through being consistent rather than brilliant in every game, and said that he felt he could do well as he improved over the 4 days. At Q School, Gavin had finished 4th in the Order of Merit, just behind then reigning BDO World Champion Glenn Durrant. In his first major of 2019, the UK Open, Carlin beat John Michael to reach the second round, where he caused an upset, beating Durrant, who had made a bright start to his PDC career, 6-2. He was then edged out 10-7 by Luke Woodhouse in a game where both players averaged 96. Gavin failed to make it to a Players' Championship semi-final that year, but he did qualify for 2 European Tour events, including the European Darts Grand Prix, where on his Euro Tour debut he picked up a 6-3 win over Dragutin Horvat. Despite improving his average to 95 in round 2, he was beaten 6-1 by Gerwyn Price. He failed to qualify for either the Players' Championship finals or World Championship that year, and ended the season with a floor average of 88.98. Gavin's average fell even lower to 88.09 in 2020, and he failed to make it past the last 16 of any Players' Championship event. After failing to reach the Players' Championship finals, or Worlds again, he finished 2020 ranked 86th on the Order of Merit, losing his tour card after the minimum 2 years. He went back to Q School at the start of 2021 and narrowly missed out on a tour card on leg difference. He has since played on the Challenge Tour and in the Modus Super Series, and in 2022 he was signed by Target. That year he managed to win Week 10 of the Super Series, beating Josh Payne in the final. It looks like Gavin hasn't played in any PDC events since 2023, but he has continued to play in smaller events such as the Donegal Darts Open, which he won in December. So, Wayne's tip here has to get a thumbs down, as Gavin's PDC career never really took off. Wayne's next pick was Englishman Dave Pallett. He said that Dave was a very talented player with swagger, a good ability and a decent throw. He acknowledged how he'd regressed leading up to 2019, but predicted that he could now kick on. Dave had a tour card between 2013 and 17, but lost it ahead of the 2018 season. He did play in the 2018 UK Open qualifiers and managed to finish 19th on the Order of Merit, qualifying for the major despite not having a card. In Minehead, he went on a dream run, beating Robert Thornton, James Wade, Kim Huybrechts and Steve West to reach a major semi-final. He was eventually beaten 11-7 by Gary Anderson, agonisingly denying him a spot in a major final. Dave managed to finish 6th on the 2019 UK Q School Order of Merit, earning him a return to the Pro Tour. His 2019 floor average was just 88.65, and he only made the last 16 of 2 Players' Championships. He was also beaten 6-3 in round 1 of the UK Open, a year after his run to the semi-finals. He did qualify for the German Darts Open, where he picked up a stage win over Mike de Decker before losing 6-2 to Daryl Gurney. Dave's average fell even lower to 83.97 in 2020, and he lost in the first round of all but 4 Players' Championship events. This meant that he ended his 2 seasons back on tour without reaching either the Players' Championship finals or World Championship, seeing him fall to 115th in the world and lose his tour card. He has since failed to win his card back at Q School, but he did manage to win a Challenge Tour title in 2022. That year, he also won his first WTF ranking title at the England Open, where he beat Graham Hall in a deciding leg in the final. That helped him to qualify for the 2023 WTF World Championship, and on the day of his Lakeside debut game, his partner gave birth, causing Dave to have to rush from the hospital to the venue to play. He averaged just 72 and was beaten 2-0 by Thomas Younghans. He hasn't played in much since, and it seems that he's fully stopped playing in the PDC for the time being. Away from the pro game, Dave is helping to set up the Bedworth Darts Academy, a great move. Unfortunately though, this has to be another thumbs down, as after winning his tour card back, Dave did very little in the PDC. And last but not least, Wayne predicted that rapid Ricky Evans would sustain good form over the following years. He noted that Ricky had begun to throw slower and predicted that this could be the reason for an improvement in consistency. At the time, Evans was ranked 47th in the world, who had been around for a while, reaching the final of the World Youth Championship back in 2013 when he lost 6-1 to Michael Smith. A few months after that, he managed to reach his first Players Championship final, but was beaten 6-3 by Brendan Dolan. It then took Ricky almost 5 years to reach another Pro Tour final, but he managed to do so at the Dutch Darts Championship in 2018, where he was beaten by Ian White. In 2019, Ricky started well, reaching the final of Players Championship 5, where he was beaten by Gavin Price. He also managed to reach the final of the German Darts Championship, the second Euro Tour event of the year, but he was beaten again, this time by Daryl Gurney. Towards the end of the year, Ricky managed to beat Ross Smith 10-7 in the second round of the European Championship, seeing him make the quarter-finals of a major for the first time. By the end of that good year, Ricky had climbed to 28th in the world, proving Wayne's tip to be good. He did slip down the rankings during the COVID period and didn't reach another final until 2022 when he lost 8-6 to Jim Williams. That meant he'd now lost 5 Pro Tour finals without picking up a title. He failed to reach a final last year and started this year ranked 46th, just one place ahead of where he was when Wayne made his prediction back in 2019. But he made a great start to 2024, reaching his first major semi-final at the first ranked major of the year, the UK Open, where he won 5 games, including his quarter-final against Rob Cross, before being battered by Luke Humphries. Similarly to Clemens, Ricky has improved since Wayne's prediction, but he now needs to win a title to move to the next level. So, I make that 2 out of 5 successful predictions for Wayne, which I actually think's good, considering the risks he took picking players from outside the top 32. Let me know in the comment section down below the names of 5 lower ranked players you think will push on and could be a top pro by 2029. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications as it really helps the channel out. Also, leave a thumbs up if you want to see more historical videos like this in the future.